son. Where'd you find this?
Okay, it's childish, can't be no homegirl, drop it like the NASDAQ. Move white girls like this coke up my ass crack. Move black girls, cause man, fuck the I'll do either. I love pussy, I love bitches, dude, I should be running Peter in Adidas with some short shorts. B-O-O all over me, my green is where it's supposed to be. Your green is in my grocery, this Asian dude, I stole his girl, and now he got that Koji beat. My dick is like an accent mark, it's all about the over-ease. Hot like a parked car, I sound weird like nigga with a hard R. Fly like the...
When I have to prepare for race day in the Quarantine Street Stock Series, I always prepare with my favorite Irish Spring, Green Green Green.
Off of the final corner, Kelan Belsha is going to win at...
All the freshness of Ireland, bottled.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm JJ Hill, driver of the number 54 Rowdy Energy Budweiser car in the Instagram Quarantine Street Stock Series. I may be one of the more inconsistent drivers on the track, but what is consistent is the great taste of Rowdy Energy, made for people like you and me on and off the track. Stay rowdy.
One driver will emerge as the Lone Star champion at the Lonestar State. Welcome, race fans, to Texas Motor Speedway and the site of the final round of the Instagram Quarantine Street Stock Series. This is, of course, the pre-race show presented by Let's Go Logano. My name is Kenneth Bueno, alongside Charlie Baier for the final race this season, and what a season we've had so far.
Yeah, it's certainly been a pretty exciting season. People like Blaze McKinney looking to close out a championship here, but a lot of these guys looking to just have fun, ride around, and enjoy the last race as we enter our Quarantine Street Stock Series off season. So I'm looking forward to having a race tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and fun is the motto when it comes to this series. And before we get into this Texas race, this is, of course, the championship race. This is pretty much all on the line for the championship tonight, and we have a couple drivers on running for the championship tonight. But of course, before we get to the pre-race festivities and all the interviews, we'll get to the national anthem and give you the salute to our nation's colors on the track. And those were the nation's colors at the Texas Motor Speedway. And one of the topics of conversation that we have, especially up here in the KBRN booth and the Instagram Quarantine Street Stock Series, is the point standings. And of course, we're going to give you the point standings on your screen as they run after race number 8 of 9 at Michigan International Speedway last week. Blaze McKinney leads the point standings with 71 points. He's looking to be the man to take the championship here tonight. Kelan Belsha not too far behind, just 10 points behind. He's got a gap to make, but if he can make that gap, it'll be a pretty interesting night for Kelan Belsha and him lifting the championship. Shane DiMantova, 14 points behind in third. Glenn Bundren gains 1 spot into 4th position. Then there's Kenneth Bueno, who falls 2 spots back after a really rough race at Michigan. Charlie Baier down in 6th. James Hill, 7th place. Jack DeAndrea, Eli Commerford, and James Youngman round out the point standings going into tonight. And one of the things I want to ask you, Charlie, is now that we have pretty much our points narrowed down to pretty much the 2 drivers, Kelan Belsha and Blaze McKinney, what can you really expect from these two drivers going into tonight?
Yeah, and Blaze McKinney is obviously looking to ride around, but we are obviously looking towards a over 10 car field. So he will, the way the points go is if there's 10 cars in the field, the leader gets 10 points, and it trickles down from there. So if we have more than 10 drivers, that opens up the door for Kelan Belsha. If Blaze McKinney were to fall to some sort of circumstance, it will give Kelan a shot, but that is if he finishes 10 spots ahead of him. So Kelan Belsha does have a task to complete tonight, and we'll just have to see. But in terms of expectations, I think Kelan Belsha will definitely try to get up there and try to at least decrease the points. So the ending points battle is pretty close for him.
Yeah, Kelan Belsha has that task ahead of him, but it is a tall task. But I know that Kelan Belsha, knowing his determination and the way he drives on the racetrack, and especially his consistency throughout the season, I know he'll put up a great fight here at Texas. And one of the things I want to talk about is the race last week. Of course, last week was at Michigan International Speedway. One of the craziest races we've had so far, and one of the more carnage-filled events that we've had this season.
Yeah, and that left a lot of drivers with a bit of salt in their mouth. A lot of us were kind of unhappy with it, but we've all moved on. We've all made up for it, so we're ready to go racing again, and pretty much everyone has showed back up. But speaking of past races, our past race at Texas did have some of our biggest crashes here. As you see, JJ Hill flies up into the air. But JJ Hill does fly up into the air. So we'll just have to see if something like that does happen again tonight. We hope it doesn't, but we've seen a bit of craziness here before. So.
Yeah, and of course, Texas, the last time we visited the Texas Motor Speedway was Shane DiMantova, who took the checker flag, his only checker flag this season. And I think that especially since we're coming back here and with his good luck here and with his performance last time, I think he can really pull out a good performance. He's third in points. He's practically out of the championship run, but even if you're not in the championship, this is a good race to practically end your season on the best note possible going into the offseason. And before we get into the rest we'll go to the interviews and get some drivers in here and get some of your favorite drivers to give some of their thoughts going into the final race. Of course, this will be the final race for the championship, and it's going to be very interesting. So first, we're going to bring the man behind the point standings down in second place, Kelan Belsha. We're going to bring him in the booth and see what he feels going into the final race. Kelan Belsha, welcome to the KBRN studios. You got us?
I got you. Hey, guys.
All right, Kelan, well, you're 10 points behind the Catbird Seed and Blaze McKinney, and we know that you've put on some great races in this season, and I know that you've pretty much had some struggles in the last Texas race, but I feel like you've definitely learned, and I feel like with this race, you're going to put it all on the line. What's your mindset kind of going into tonight, knowing that you're behind on the point standings and you're going to do all you can to catch Blaze?
Yeah, well, we got second in this last Texas race at Shane. I think with a couple laps, we probably could have got him. Just wasn't close enough and didn't have enough time to really get by him. I felt like I had a pretty fast car that day. I'm pretty sure we got the bonus point for fastest lap that day. So just got to run that race like we did last time, and hopefully the luck's in our favor. When it comes down to the championship tonight, we're just going to have to find a way to get around Blaze, finish in front of him for starters, and then we just got to hope he has a bad day. Really don't want to wish that upon somebody, but when it comes down to a situation like this, you just got to fight for all you can, and hopefully we can come out on top, hoping for a miracle tonight.
Yes, sir. And Texas is one of the more difficult tracks. I know it's sort of like Charlotte Motor Speedway and some of the other tracks we have on the schedule in terms of it being a mile and a half and kind of being the same shape. But is there something different from this track that kind of stands out from the others, especially tracks like Charlotte? Is there something that stands out the most when it comes to driving these cars here?
Yeah, last time he came around here, I felt like it was a little bit different from Charlotte. I felt like you had to drive the car a lot more to get around the corners, and coming off the corners, it really likes to back end, like step out from you a lot more than it does at Charlotte. It's a lot looser than it is at Charlotte, but then it's like tighter than a quad oval. So it's really, the shape's similar. It's a way different track, especially with all the room you got in the corner. It's a lot easier to avoid wrecks this time when we come out here. So it's similar but different at the same time, and it's just a lot of fun to drive.
All right, Kelan. Well, we know you're going to put out a real fight out there on the track with Blaze, and of course we wish you luck down there in the final race of the season, and we'll see you at the award show after the season is over, regardless of whether you win the championship or not. So of course, good luck out there on track. We wish you the best, and we hope to see an amazing race from tonight. tonight?
What about my scheme, bud?
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know we had a paint scheme reveal, but we do. So we'll get to the paint scheme. You have a new paint scheme. You sported some really colorful paint schemes throughout the season, but we'll give a drum roll and see what Kelan has brought out tonight. Charlie with the new mic.
Ta-da!
Oh man, this is kind of like a crossover. Just tell us about this scheme, Kelan.
Well, I thought about this actually when we finished Michigan last week because I had an Irish Spring car, filmed a commercial for them. Y'all know that story, and I was like, well, how can I incorporate that this week? And then I thought about Tripp. He was on my car almost every race this year before last week, so I was like, well, how am I supposed to put these two together? So then I thought of a design in my head, and I called up Mr. Blaze McKinney, the guy who I'm racing for a championship tonight, and I hit him up and I was like, "Hey, bud, you want to put together a scheme for me?" And he was like, "Sure, just get a couple things sent to me." And he put it together throughout the week, and I think it looks really good. I'm proud of him, and I'm thankful that he put something so cool together. Even though we're fighting for the same thing tonight, hopefully it'll be fast and get up there and out front.
Yeah, I like the mix between the two. I know you've ran one scheme solely dedicated to Tripp, and I know you've ran one scheme dedicated solely to Irish Spring. Now we can send you off now that we have the paint scheme out of the way. So, of course, we wish you the best of luck out there, and we hope the Irish Spring green car can kind of have that lucky tendency out there on track.
Yeah, y'all have fun out here in the booth.
Kelan Belsha out there is second in the point standings, 10 points behind. He's looking to pretty much have that comeback season and go for that championship. And, of course, I'll let Charlie go on with the next interview and whoever he wants to choose out of the drivers in the field, because I know this is a very special race.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the dominator of the season. I'm going to go ahead and bring Blaze McKinney in here. So, Blaze, this is us in the KBRN booth. You got a copy?
You caught me mid-sentence, sorry. Yeah, I got you.
Well, Blaze, you have been the class of the field the entire season, picking up 4 wins, 3 more than anybody else in the field. You're looking to close out a championship, have a pretty comfortable 10-point lead. What's the strategy going into this race, and do you think you can close out the championship?
Yeah, I hope so. We just gotta not finish last, basically, because I think there's like 9 or 10 guys in here, and I mean, bonus points play into that, but I think if we just lead a lap and maybe get the pole, we'll have those 2 bonus points to lay back on, and we can even finish last. So I think we just gotta do everything right, and we'll be all right. Just hope Kelan doesn't win. That's basically what we gotta do.
Yeah, and on the topic of confidence, how confident are you to think that you can stay out front and not make a mistake? Because a mistake for you, especially late in the race, and if you finish back there, could be detrimental to your championship chances. So, what's the confidence level, and do you think you can do it?
Yeah, I think we should be able to, but I know I've said this like the past 3 weeks, but I know we still have that target on our backs, so we'll probably get raced a little bit harder considering it's the last race of the season too. So we're just gotta try to just keep the car clean and just be there at the end, at least finish top 5. I think that's our goal.
Yeah, and Texas is one of the more easy tracks of the season. Do you think this is one of your better tracks? Well, I know it's pretty much full throttle, but how do you think you can size up or compare to the other drivers and staying out front? So, do you think this track? What I'm saying is this track easy for you? I don't know.
I mean, I missed the first one this season. That's the only race I didn't run, so I don't have the experience from the last race. They know how to race it, but I haven't yet. So I mean, we'll see. We'll get used to it. Just see what happens. Just draft and stuff will play into it, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, Blaze, we wish you the best of luck. But before I let you go, you do have a paint scheme that you want to reveal, so we're gonna go ahead and do that really quickly. Kenneth, can we get a drum roll, please? And ta-da! So, this is a very colorful car. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, well, I've ran a lot of different paint schemes this season, and I thought since this is like the wrap-up race of the season, to wrap everything up, I decided to just try to put every aspect of all my cars into the same paint scheme. And I liked the TikTok colors, I like the pink and the blue, so I decided to make that like the primary color, and I actually tried to put an actual design on it this time instead of just starting to slap pictures everywhere. So I put a design on it, and then I just started putting random stuff from all my other cars on there. So you got Clorox from the throwback car, and you got Beef Boss on the quarter panel. So just threw everything on together, and I thought it looked pretty nice. So I want to thank James Youngerman for throwing together the chrome and the matte stuff for the paint scheme.
Oh yeah, it definitely looks good. Well, Blaze, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you out there on the racetrack. Before I let you go, you have any sponsors you want to thank?
Crystal A Designs, TikTok, Clorox, Professor, James Youngerman for the spec map. He's my sponsor tonight, and just everybody who helps us out. That's basically it.
All right. Well, Blaze, good luck tonight, contending for the championship, and we'll see you out there on the racetrack.
All right, thank you.
Blaze McKinney sliding himself out of the booth. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and give Kenneth. You're up next for interviews. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to pick the man who won the last time we were here at Texas Motor Speedway, and that's Shane DiMantova. We're going to bring him in the booth. Shane, welcome to the KBRN studios. You got us, first of all?
This is Patrick.
All right, well, we got you. Well, Shane, we know you have some good experiences here at Texas. You won the last time we were here, and it's so far your only win this season. So is there something special that you kind of possess when it comes to racing at Texas?
I mean, I just shoot those 6-shooters, and yeah, it's the Lonestar State. Why not?
Yeah, certainly the biggest. Everything is bigger in Texas, so certainly interesting. But like, Shane, I want to ask you something before we go into this final race. I know you're third in points. You're pretty much just setting yourself to have that podium spot in the championship run. And I know you're not fully in mathematical contention to go for the championship, but you're third. So it's a very, very good place for you. And is there something that you want to prove? Is there something you want to kind of hand out as your last message to kind of end your season on a high note?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've been close in a lot of these races all year, and I feel like I've been in contention, but like just have not had the luck in the last couple of races. So I'm gonna try to go and get that second place spot from Kelan, and go out there and try to win this race and have some fun. Unlike last week, when that was definitely awful, and hopefully you can move past it and everybody can have a good time tonight.
All right, Shane. Well, out of the many, you have a colorful paint scheme you want to show out here tonight for the final race, and it's going to be extra special knowing that this is the final time we'll be racing for the first time for the first season. And we'll go to the paint scheme reveal. Charlie, drum roll, please.
Ta-da!
And there it is, Shane DiMantova. Just tell us about this paint scheme. What's on this paint scheme here?
There's a lot going on, honestly, in this paint. I'd like to thank Corey Hartz for putting this together, because it's honestly just a really great car. As you can see, there's a bacon background and stuff like that, and then just a bunch of cursed images and photos that don't need an explanation on the car all over it.
Well, I see an SUV with Blaze McKinney's paint scheme on it. So that's,
yeah, I think you should also take a look at the corner panel. There's a great picture on there too.
I don't think I can really, I don't fully see it on there, but not sure what
it'll look familiar to you on the racetrack tonight.
Oh man.
Oh no.
But yeah, this
oh
is
no, I think I know what that is. Oh, you're sport. Okay, I see what's going on there. I'll be sure to kiss that quarter panel with my car.
Hey, the only thing is there's a different design on the right side, so I guess it's a surprise. And the back is definitely good looking too.
All right, Shane. Well, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank for making this this successful first season possible?
Really, just you guys and Bundren Lawn Care. You got to respect the Bundren.
Yes, sir. We have a lot of people saying Bundren Lawn Care before we went live on KBRN, and we still have some people repping the Bundren Lawn Care. We'll be giving him an interview, so that's going to be also very fun. But Shane, of course, thank you for racing throughout this entire season. We've pretty much enjoyed every time that you've been on the racetrack, and you, along with everyone here, has brought amazing memories for this first season. So, of course, thank you for being here. Thank you for, of course, taking the time to talk with us here at KBRN, and we'll see you on the racetrack for the final race.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, the reference to the random chimp event. I see. That's the car he ran at Phoenix. All right, Charlie, I'll give you honors for the next interview, whoever you want. It's a special night, so we can go for anyone. I know everyone has a special message they want to give tonight. So.
Yeah. Next up in the booth, we're gonna go ahead and bring Mr. Hot Lapper himself, Jack DeAndre. You got a copy with us?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, Jack, final race of the season. I don't think you've gotten yourself a win yet. So what's the strategy going in here? And do you think you can use this final race to try and get yourself a win?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm too far back to win the championship, so I'm just trying to win. I really want to get a win in this in the first season.
Yeah. I noticed you in the past races have mile and a halves where it's kind of full throttle around here. Do you think you have something special for this full throttle track? Because I've seen you run up front a lot in these races. And how well do you think you can do just for tonight?
Yeah, hopefully I could do well. Just gotta stay out of trouble and stay up front, and hopefully I could get it done.
Well, obviously looking for some success today, but before we let you go, we do have a special. Wait, do you have a paint scheme for tonight?
I don't have a new one, but
man,
I'm running the September one. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. We're gonna go ahead and slide you out. Before I let you go, you have any sponsors that you want to thank for us?
I guess you guys for putting on a fun pre-race show for this season. So thanks, guys.
All right. Well, we appreciate you stopping by the KBRN booth. We wish you best of luck today, and we'll see you out there on the racetrack, man.
Yep. Thank you.
That was Jack sliding himself out of the booth. We're gonna go ahead and have a Kenneth. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with the man that you continued to interview twice over. I'll go with Eli Commerford. I'll bring him in the booth, and he's one of the more interesting drivers in the field. So I'll bring him in and let him know what he thinks going into this final race. Eli, thank you for joining the KBRN booth. You got us?
I got you.
All right, Eli. Well, this is the final race of the season. It's been a fun one for you, and of course the rest of us here as drivers. And is there anything you're kind of looking forward to? Any expectations going into the final race this season?
I'm just basically here to see what unfolds with like the championship contenders. I'm just here to have fun. I'm nowhere near contention. I've been last time with people who haven't even raced, but I'm just here to have fun. The last Texas race was fun. I didn't do too bad, so I just want to do better and hopefully, good finish.
Yeah, Texas race last time was a very, very fun race and also a very chaotic one. Is there? I've asked this to Kelan. Is there any sort of difference you see that stands out the most when it comes to Texas? Maybe the track surface, maybe the way these cars kind of handle their way around. I know that there was, as I remember, in the last Texas race, there was a lot of kind of sliding up when a lot of drivers hung on that inside line all the way at the bottom. But is there anything that stands out the most from Texas as opposed to the other tracks out here?
I think was Texas our second race? I believe it was around there, and I didn't practice on it. And it was sure different to all the other racetracks I drove, such as and stuff. There was something new, but I think I'll be fine this go around. But you were right with the sliding up, as we saw. I think most of the people in this league know that clip of I don't know who it was sliding up and then someone getting sent to the station. But yeah, definitely a product of the.
Yeah, JJ Hill was that driver. I remember that's one of the more iconic clips in our series this season. And you were right about Texas being the second race. It was the second race, and of course we brought it back for the finale. But I know you have a paint scheme that you want to reveal for the final race, and it's going to be extra special. So we'll show the paint scheme on your screen, and we'll get the drum roll, please.
Ta-da!
There it is.
Boom.
Eli, tell us about this.
So that's my EO Media car. I just basically started up my email thing where I'll paint cars for people for iRacing, and I'll also do like concept schemes. And I decided to put myself on my car this weekend, so I wanted to make it myself. And I always wanted my colors to be black, white, and lime yellow, so I went with that color scheme. A simple design with a gradient going down, and I made the Toyota logos and stuff, and just promote my brand.
It's a very beautiful paint scheme, and of course, before we let you go out on the KBR booth, before you go out on track tonight, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to thank, anybody you really want to give your gratitude to before this race?
I want to shout out EO Media. Go follow EO Media on Instagram at EO.media. Go support James Hill because he is my truck. I paint. So.
All right, well, Eli, of course, before we let you go, thank you, of course, for being a part of this season. It's been a very memorable season, exciting season, a chaotic season, and we're looking forward to see you out there in the final race this season. And of course, good luck there on the racetrack.
Thank you.
Eli Commerford. That was very fun. It's very fun having these interviews with these drivers, knowing that this is the last race this season. I know this isn't pretty much the end of the Instagram Quarantine Street Stock Series as we know it, but considering that we've had such a great first season, I see Charlie laughing. I'm not so sure why.
You just didn't drag him out yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my bad. But Charlie, of course, you're up next with whoever you want to interview. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drag in. Let's see here. Who do we have up next? I'm gonna go ahead and drag in. I know he's racing tonight, but we're just gonna go ahead and interview anyways. Preston, you got a copy?
Yes, I do. Thanks for having me.
Well, Preston, I believe it's your first race you ran. I believe since I want to say Daytona. Is that right?
I was at one more race. No, Charlotte. I did Charlotte. My last one was Charlotte.
Yeah.
With the throwbacks.
Yeah. So first race in a while. Obviously coming out here to have fun. Season finale. What's the strategy coming in tonight?
Well, the strategy for tonight is to have some fun. I think my main competitor right now is going to be Blaze McKinney. I'm going to try and qualify up front and try to, battle with him a little bit because I think we have a good car to contend for the win today. But it's gonna be a fun time. I wasn't here running for points, and I think to take away from a lot of this is that this is a great series, and I think that we're gonna have a great fun time here tonight, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of drama as well.
Yeah, it's season finale. Car's going for a championship. So, is there anything different about Texas that you kind of find yourself in an advantage? Because, the other two races have also been full throttle tracks. So, do you think you have anything special for these full throttle tracks and maybe contend for a win?
I think one of my biggest strengths in the street stocks is I'm really good at drafting, and I feel like this whole flat out type surface and tracks, I feel like it's mainly about the draft and how to hold your line. And there's not a lot of people that can really hold their line. And I feel like that I'm pretty good with drafting throughout, most of these races. So I think we have a pretty good contend to win.
All right. Well, Preston, before I let you go, you do have a paint scheme that you want to reveal for us. So we're going to go ahead and go do that. Kenneth, can we get a drum roll, please? Ta-da! You want to tell us about this one?
So this one is based off of one of my favorite Jeff Gordon paints, his 2007 Pepsi 400 Pepsi car, and I absolutely adore this car. I had to make sure that there was a yellow spoiler and a yellow valence on the front because those are the iconic colors of most of his Pepsi cars that he ran really well in. And mostly every single car that he has ran with a yellow spoiler and a yellow splitter, he almost won the race. So I'm a feeling that with this magical yellow power, I feel like we're gonna be really good tonight.
All right, well, a special paint scheme for you. Before we let you go, do you have any sponsors that you want to thank?
I want to thank Blaze McKinney for making this paint. We do have a special surprise that's hidden somewhere on the car, so if anybody can find that special surprise, it's going to be amazing. We also like to thank Jeff Jordan for being upside down. I also like to thank Glenn Bundren Lawn Care, because they're high quality grass cutters, and I think that they will be one of the most influential businesses in America. And I also want to thank James Jungman for being one of the best people out there, Shane for supporting Obama, and and I think that's about it.
All right, well, we're gonna let you go here. Best of luck for tonight, and we'll see you out there on the racetrack, man.
Thank you.
Preston Cope signing out of the booth. One of the less frequent racers here in the series, but obviously looking for a good run tonight. So, Kenneth, you're up. We'll see who you drag in.
All right, well, I'm going to go with the man that Preston mentioned earlier in the interview. I'm going to go with James Youngevin. I'm going to bring him in the booth here. James, of course, welcome to the KBRN studios. You got a copy?
Indeed.
All right, James. Well, this is the last race. We're shuffling back here at Texas once again for the Cowboy Jiggy. And is there any expectations? What's kind of your motto going into tonight?
Go out, race it out, put it all on the line. Don't be stupid.
All right, it seems like a very simple model there, but I believe you raced the last time we were at Texas. Actually, you did. Now that I remember, you did race last time at Texas, and I've asked this to a couple of the drivers. I know I'm kind of repeating myself for the people watching on the YouTube stream, but I'm gonna ask you, what is different from Texas compared to some of the other tracks you've ran this season? To you,
seems to be a little bit looser, and it's quite a bit wider than like Charlotte, but it's not a lot different from like Michigan and other tracks like that because it's still pretty much wide open.
All right, James. Well, before we let you go, I believe you have a paint scheme to reveal tonight, of course, for the last race here. We'll give the drum roll and show the paint scheme. Drum roll, please. Oh my goodness.
He doesn't have a paint scheme.
Oh, he does not. Okay, well, James, do you know what paint scheme you're gonna be running tonight? Is there
it's the same one as last week.
Oh, okay. So we'll be seeing that car on track, but of course,
the Charlie car.
Let's go.
That's the Charlie car. Amazing. That is amazing. Well,
car.
James, of course, we thank you for being a part of this inaugural season. It's been plenty of fun racing with you and, of course, everybody else out here. And we wish you the best of luck going into Texas tonight for the season finale.
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to Bunder and Lawn Care. And thank you.
I think everybody's repping Bunder and Lawn Care. We should bring Glenn in here just to give his opinions on his supporters here tonight and what he thinks about it. So, Charlie, of course, it's your choice, but just,
Well, yeah, as per your request, Kenneth. Just kidding. We're gonna go ahead and drag in the, oh boy. We're gonna go ahead and drag in the number 37 car, Glenn Bungeon. You got a copy with us?
I do.
Well, Glenn, you do have a win here. You do have a win in the inaugural season here. Obviously looking for another one. There hasn't been another two-time winner besides Blaze McKinney. What's the strategy tonight? And you're hoping to be the second-time winner?
To be honest, I don't have a strategy. The last time I had a strategy, I got wrecked. So, whatever happens, happens. And if I'm winning, I'm winning. If I lose, I'll lose. Such strategy mastermind call right there by Glenn Bungeon.
Yeah, and you did take the win here earlier in the season at Daytona. So, do you think you have something for these full throttle tracks? Obviously, Texas, to an extent, is a full throttle track. Besides maybe bump drafting, but do you think you have something for tonight? And do you think you'll be a threat out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I'll for sure be a threat. Full throttle. That's my way to go. Drafting. That's my way to go, and hopefully we'll win. And I'm not afraid to use the chrome horn.
All right, well, you do have a special paint scheme tonight for the final race, so we're going to go ahead and reveal that really quickly. Kenneth, can we get a drum roll, please? Ta-da! And this is a wild paint scheme. Can you tell us about it really quickly?
Yeah, well, I missed meme week last week because I didn't get the memo, and I made it up this week, and I believe it has Trump on it. I'm not sure. It has some memes on it. And you don't want to see the rear end, so I'll leave that post race.
All right, well, certainly a wild-looking paint scheme. A lot to look at there. So, yeah, we wish you the best of luck tonight on the racetrack. But before we let you go, you have any sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bungeon Lawn Care because I cut most grass in the 618 region, Southern Illinois. You got every yard covered, And I like to thank Blaze McKinney, Eli, Jack, James Dunkman, Kelan, Preston, Henry, and Shane.
All right. Well, glad we wish you the best of luck tonight, and we'll see you out there onto the racetrack. Good luck tonight, man.
All right. Thank you.
Bungeon sliding himself out of the booth. A very characteristic man. Lots of fans. One of the biggest fan bases in our league here. So, yeah, Kenneth, up next for you.
Yeah, that paint scheme. I saw the Eyes car logo, and I saw a picture of the man himself, Zeke Reyes. So that was one of the things that caught my eye. It was pretty funny. But of course, I'll get into the final interview we have tonight. He's the last man in the booth that we haven't racer, the World of Outlaw, JJ Hill. We're gonna bring him in. JJ, welcome to the KBRN studios. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got your copy.
All right, JJ. Well, we have covered practically every race this season, and now that we're going into this final race, you have a win under your belt already. What's your mindset going into this final race to kind of end your season on a good note?
Really just looking to race clean tonight and just really have fun. Last race of the year, sitting 7th in points. Can't really move up, can't really move down. So just gonna have fun tonight, and yeah.
All right, JJ. Well, I know you've raced here at Texas, and the last time you went to Texas, you kind of had a wild ride. Are you expecting some more calmer racing tonight? You think there might be some more chaos, considering that there's kind of a championship battle and kind of everyone's giving it their all for the final race?
Well, last time I came to Texas, I ended in space, so hopefully not going to do that tonight. I don't think that tonight's race will be that bad. I think it'll be fairly clean. Everyone knows what's going on now. Racing for a championship. I'm going to be serious, going to be calm. But I think towards the end of the race, it'll start getting a little crazy. But I think early on, it'll be fairly calm, and we'll get two lanes of racing going and make top and bottom work. And by the end of the race, it'll get crazy. But start of the race, it'll be calm.
All right, JJ. Well, I'm not sure if you have a paint scheme tonight to reveal. Do you have a paint scheme that you want to reveal tonight? Okay,
yes,
he does. All right, so we'll reveal that paint scheme and pretty much get the final paint scheme reveal, almost the second to last, actually. Paint scheme reveal. So we'll give the drum roll, please, and show the scheme. Drum roll.
Ta-da!
James, wow, this is I really enjoy this scheme. This is really nice. I know you've kind of struck the Budweiser on this car. Just tell us how you made this scheme and kind of your thoughts on it. How'd you make it?
Well, it's a Bud car. It's kind of like a celebration car. I've run the normal Budweiser car for the entire season pretty much, except the Lone Texas race. So tonight I thought do the Budweiser Anheuser celebration car. Kind of dark, kind of looks wooden. It's got that wooden type look to it, glossy, but it's just really a celebration car.
Yeah, it's a beautiful paint scheme, and I'm looking forward to see that in the sunrise of Texas Motor Speedway when we race here tonight. But of course, before we let you go to go out racing, do you have anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to give thanks to before the end of the season?
Yeah, I gotta say thanks to all the guys at JJRM, EEL Media, Budweiser, Rowdy Energy, KBRN for putting on these great pre-race shows that we all love. Let's go Logano. And,
all right, James. Well,
that's about it.
Well, JJ, we've certainly been pretty much honored to have you on the racetrack along with everybody else. So, of course, thank you for being a part of this inaugural season. It's been plenty of fun, and I know that tonight we're really going to give it our all. So, of course, we wish you the best of luck out there in track, and we'll see you on the racetrack.
Yep, thanks, guys. Great broadcast.
JJ Hill, and we have actually one more paint scheme to debut before we get to the end of this and before we wrap everything up, and that is the main man in the booth here, Charlie Baier. You have a special paint scheme you want to run here tonight, and we'll give the drum roll. I'll give it myself. Ta-da!
Well,
Charlie, tell us about this.
Well, I'm a big Dr. Pepper fan, and this kind of was a last-minute paint scheme for yesterday's Ice Car Yost Auto Sales Street Stock Series, but so I just plastered Dr. Pepper logos all over it. Everyone knows my love for Dr. Pepper. They're pretty much my sponsor for almost anything I run in iRacing and the iRacing service and anything else in other video games. So I thought, why not just plaster a giant logo on the side of a car? It may not look pretty, but it's definitely something and represents my love for the company and the drink. So yeah, that's really about it.
Well, that red will really look good in the sunrise sun at Texas. So it's a beautiful paint scheme. I personally don't have a throwback or not a throwback, a special paint scheme for tonight, but I will be running the Super Mix paint scheme, which I did run in the first race of the season. So I think that's kind of a good thing to end it with that scheme, to start it with that scheme and then end it with that scheme. And we'll give some of the things before we wrap up. We'll give the upcoming schedule, which you already know what the schedule is looking like for the final race. It will be Texas Motor Speedway at Fort Worth, Texas. We've been through all the races. You can see all the winners on the screen and all the races we ran. And of course, the last time we went to Texas, the winner was Shane DiManTova. So we'll see what happens out there on track. But before we wrap everything up, do you have any sort of predictions for this race? You kind of think, do you think there's maybe some drivers who have a better chance than others? Do you think this championship battle will really kind of affect the way some of these other drivers race?
Well, I think the championship race or the final race of the season does attract a lot of people. We have similar to our record field, which is about 12 drivers. We've seen a lot of interest here, so it's going to be a pretty big field. If we get above 10 drivers, then Kelan Belsha will slip into contention for the championship. So my prediction is going to be a lot of close racing, and the drivers giving a little room for error, as we've seen in the last couple races in this series. But my prediction, not necessarily for the race win, but I think we're going to see a lot of close racing tonight, and it's definitely going to be a fun one, a very wide racetrack. And so Kenneth, what are you thinking for tonight?
Well, I made this prediction in the Instagram chat just a couple hours prior to this pre-race show, and I kind of made a dark horse pick with JJ Hill. I think that he can kind of rebound from the last Texas race that he had when he got sent to space. I think he can get himself back on the ground and take that checkered flag in the first position. So I think I'm picking the dark horse tonight. I know that Kelan Belsha and Blaze McKinney are at a really tight points battle, so that's going to be one of the more interesting things to watch when it comes to this race. And it's just going to be a really fun night. I know we've wrapped this up with the final race at Texas, and knowing that this is the last race of our first season, it's pretty special to know that we've gone through this whole season, all of us together, and it's been super fun. So now that we're going to wrap up the pre-race show, of course, up next will be the Texas season finale 75 at Fort Worth, Texas Motor Speedway. Will be 50 laps, and of course, the time is a little bit wrong considering the fact that we've kind of extended that for a little bit, but of course it's going to begin right after this pre-race show wraps up. And if you want to catch more of the action on KBRN, we have the Trexco iRacing League race number 7 from Thompson Speedway. Of course, that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, Monday night. And of course, we have the doubleheader with the iRacing Bungeon Lawn Care Series with their debut, the duels at Daytona, their debut on KBRN. So that'll be right after the Trexco race at about 9:15 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to get some pure racing action here on KBRN, you'll get it for tomorrow, the doubleheader on Monday. And of course, before we sign off, I'd like to give a huge thanks to everybody who's been a part of this league. It's been so much fun to have these races throughout this quarantine and throughout the whole pandemic that we've been dealing with. And this series kind of gives us an outlet to kind of have some more fun and get along and just have some great fun here in the iRacing service. It's great to get these races underway with these cars, the street stock cars, and all the tracks that we're going into that we've gone through the first season. So for everybody here at the Instagram Quarantine Street Stock Series, Blaze, Kelan Belsha, Shane DiMantova, Glenn Bundren, James Hill, Jack DeAndrea, Sean Commerford, Eli Commerford, James Youngman, Preston Cope, for everyone here at KBRN, for Charlie Baier, my name is Kenneth Bueno, saying good night from Texas. We'll be giving you the award show actually next week, so that's going to be super fun. So of course, good night from Texas. We will see you at the award show.